टॉयलेटां टैप्स बॉयलर रेडिएटर प्लम्बिंग फिटिंग्स पेंट स्टोर DIY टाइलां सारा कुछ बेचने नहीं
चीज़ां कोई सस्तियां भी बेचने को नहीं
ओए साल ले 12 महीने इन्हां दी ऑफरां लगी होणियां नहीं
और जल्दी कर मी पता दस होए मैं भी करे ना कम शुरू करासां
ऐ किन्ना पता
Please visit us at Unit 2 Brassey Close, Lincoln Road Industrial Estate, PE1 2AZ, or call 01733 555 826. UK Plumbing and DIY, a name you can trust.
मेरा नाम आयशा है और मेरा ताल्लुक कश्मीर ऑर्फन्स रिलीफ ट्रस्ट मीरपुर से है। कोर्ट एजुकेशनल कम्प्लेक्स जरीकस मेरे ख्वाबों की जन्नत, जहां बेहतरीन देखभाल, आला तालीम, बेपनाह प्यार और मेहरबान शफकत हम सबको हासिल है। अब फेज 2 में 500 बच्चों और बच्चियों के लिए रिहाइशगाहें बन रही हैं और इसके लिए 9 करोड़ रुपए चाहिए। मुझे यकीन है आप मायूस नहीं करेंगे।
कश्मीर ऑर्फन्स रिलीफ ट्रस्ट 0300 123 774 court.org.uk.
Peterborough's community radio station, Salaam Radio, 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salaam Radio here on Salaam Sports.
Assalamu alaikum.
Is that you? See, I gave you a little bit of backing music there.
I wasn't sure if I was to do the introduction because I was getting used to it.
Yeah. I've not been here for a while. So assalamu alaikum to all of our listeners. Thank you for joining Salaam Sports here on Salaam Radio 106.2 FM. And also to our listeners in
Lutan,
listening via
Web
Inspire FM,
Inspire everything.
105.1. Assalamu alaikum and thank you so much for joining us.
Assalamu alaikum everybody.
Assalamu alaikum Arif. Assalamu alaikum Sadat.
Assalamu alaikum. I met my Luton fan.
Who's your Luton fan?
In Ramzan. It was,
yes, you did. What was his name?
Yeah,
Sadakat.
Sadakat.
He's even got his name after me.
Sadakat. I have to say, Sadakat made me feel like an absolute fool. Because he came and he was like, "Who's the Salaam Radio guy? Who's the Salaam Radio guy?" And I was like, "That's me." And he goes, "No, the other one, the funny one." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And then he went. He was cozying up to Sadat like the whole evening, and I was just.
I think he had some pictures taken.
Yeah, top bloke.
Few
Love Luton.
Shelfies. Sadakat, if you're listening, you can feel free to upload the photo that you took with Sadakat over Ramadan onto our Facebook page because we are Facebook Live.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, Facebook Live. Interact with the show, guys, please. It would be love to get you. We'd love to get you interaction on the show. So usually Premier League season, it goes off summer and we don't have a lot to talk about. But this week is jam packed.
Yes,
there's so much going on. What's going on, Arif? Tell me what's going on.
Well, there's a lot of stuff on the transfers, isn't there? I mean, I'm looking at it. It's a little bit cagey.
Okay.
In the transfers because the clubs don't really want to come out with who they're looking to sign and everything.
That's with some clubs. Certainly, some of the top clubs are struggling to finalise all of their deals. But some of the lower level clubs, they're kind of doing some good business early doors. I say lower level. With all due respect, Everton is actually a top 7
well,
team.
Everton.
Yeah? Everton have done a lot of good business.
£100 million spent already.
Yeah, and that's
how many players did they get for 100 million?
I think they've
got about 6, 5.
Yeah, they bought.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, they're buying 15, 20 million players rather than 60, 70 million pound players.
But if those same players were, say, a bigger club was attracted to them, those same players would probably be double the price because they know that those teams will pay. That's the difference, I think, in the market.
Yeah. And what else is going on? Obviously, Wimbledon final as we speak.
Yes.
And guys, if you are listening and you're watching the final, please do text in and let us know what's going on because I'm gutted. I'm missing that. I was really
the best game during the week. I saw Wimbledon. Well, not saw. I was listening to it on radio and I was watching a bit of it. It was Nadal. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh no, I missed the Nadal game.
Nadal, the one he lost.
Yeah, the one he lost.
Yeah, that was very, very good. You mean? I think it was it 12 all or 13?
He went. I think he lost 15-13 at the end.
15-13, yeah.
Oh, wow.
2 sets all. He was 2 sets down.
Yeah.
Made it to 2 sets all, and he came back. But he was on the brink of winning a break.
Like I was watching the last sort of half an hour of that game, and the guy who was with me watching it, he had gone for the other chap. What was the other chap's name?
It was the American, wasn't it? I think Rem. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But then, I mean, there's shocks in there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Andy Murray, you could tell he was carrying an injury.
He's injured, yeah.
Djokovic,
yeah. Didn't he? I didn't know he was carrying an injury before. If not, but he got.
Oh, is that what came out then? Because
he was injured.
Supposed to be injured.
Yeah, he was injured. So there's 2 injuries.
And that's quite funny because Djokovic and Murray both criticised players who started the match against them and pulled out injured during the first set. It's like, oh, why are you even entering if you're injured?
Yeah, but they didn't pull out.
They did.
Murray didn't pull out. Murray lost his match, didn't
he? Murray continued, didn't he?
Djokovic pulled out, I believe.
Murray went till the end, but
we've also had the 10th Grand Prix of the season.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're halfway through the season now.
There was another
I've done my homework. I know it's the 10th one, and I know we're halfway through.
Did you really?
I am awesome. That's what I am. And the British Grand Prix. So this is our home Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit about that, how that's going, who won, what happened, and what it means for the actual race.
And then there's been the promotion with Mayweather and McGregor. I've been watching that a bit on
can we talk
social
a little bit
media.
about that?
Do we need to?
We need to.
I don't know if we want to, but I
think
thought
we need to. I think we need to.
To be honest, I didn't know it was going on until social media just exploded with all these clips and
So
stuff.
what you have to remember is our listeners are actually educated sports people. You know, they don't.
Well, someone's got to be.
No, they are. No, but they appreciate sports for the reason that people would even partake in sport. It's not a circus. It's actually a serious thing. And I think our listeners are going to be very disappointed with the whole, circus that's going on with the whole May Mac thing. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and we can just diss it all we like.
That's McGregor all over, though, isn't it? His circus is his middle name.
We'll talk about that. We'll come back to that. The cricket.
Yes.
England, South Africa.
Yeah, England won the first test, which was predicted by ourselves.
Oh, did you guys predict it?
Yeah, it was principally over by the time we were doing our show on Sunday. So yeah,
you guys predict something.
It was the final stages, so wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. The South Africa came out for their second innings, didn't they? And they needed a certain amount of scores, whatever it was.
When you guys predict something, it's pointless even watching it because it's a done deal.
It's a done deal. But this one now, England are on the ropes.
I reckon it's going to be South Africa. This one.
Yeah.
What did England close on after their first innings?
England on the first innings were 205 all out.
Okay, so that
was after South Africa had posted 335.
Wow.
And currently, and I'm sure it's obviously ongoing at the moment, I left out 181 for 3.
South Africa, got about 282, 300
plus lead. 300 lead.
And today is only the third day.
Third day, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they're just going to bat out for the rest of the day.
They might as well bat out and rest day.
And they'll probably bat even a session tomorrow, yeah, at least.
Well, if they survive that long, yeah.
Well, you've got...
how many wickets down on
Amla was still there, but it's been that sort of game where one fall of wicket and there's sort of like a collapse 2 or 3.
Well, not really. If you look at it, there's
England
only 2
collapsed.
England collapsed.
South Africa, where they were 3 last time I checked, they won their first innings. They were 300 for 6, weren't they? And then it ended up 335.
Okay, and we'll get into the details later. But what else? So we've got the tennis, the Formula 1, we've got the transfers in the Premier League, we've got the May Mac. Anything else?
Under 19s, England won against Portugal, I believe, final 2-1, and the goal scorer was our own Suleiman from Pakistan.
Was it Sully?
Well, I say
Sully
Pakistan.
got a goal?
Yeah, our man Sully from Villa. Plays for Villa.
Born and bred in Liverpool, mind you.
Yeah, he regrets that.
We should try getting Sully on the radio.
I think we should.
As well as that, obviously, it's summer holidays now. So if any parents are listening, there's lots and lots of events going on in the local area for your kids to get involved in. Arif, I know you always try getting your children involved in stuff, and as you used to that, so Fatua running a whole host of events throughout the whole summer holidays, so we'll talk a little bit about those. And also there was an event earlier today which unfortunately people can't join now, it's done, but it was a really good running event called the Grand Colour Run, and it was at the Embankment, and it was there to raise funds for Children of Adam. So I hope you guys had a successful run and a successful fundraising event. I didn't know about this. Must have completely missed it. So I went out for a run earlier as well with my girls. And it was around the same time. We went to the rowing lake. We didn't go to Embankment. So it's a bit of a shame. I think I'd like to have joined.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if there's any listeners who did the run, listening, phone in, let us know how it went.
Before we kick off, so
what was it? How long was the run for? What was it?
It's like a fun run, so I guess it's going to be 3K.
Yeah.
Yeah, most fun runs are around 3 kilometers, aren't they? Yeah. So before we kick off to the main part of the show, I've got a little bit of a gripe with one of our sister shows in Luton. Yeah, this is the morning show. Yeah, this is the morning show, brother.
Gripe.
Yeah, I was listening the other day, and he said, "Assalamu alaikum to all my listeners, Inspire FM 105.1, listening in Luton, great." And I was like, okay. And he goes, also to our dedicated listeners in, and I was thinking,
Peterborough.
Yeah, of course. Because Nottingham. So I was like, okay, Nottingham, they're listening in Nottingham. That's great.
Yeah, good.
Very, very nice of you to join us. This, that, the other. And then he just stopped, and I was like, hang on. So I always listen to him on my way to the train station. Yeah. So I texted in. I said, brother, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, we're listening to you in Peterborough. We love your show. It's actually awesome. Yeah. Give us a shout out. I don't know if you did or not. If anybody's listening in Luton, get onto Brother Tariq's case and tell him the listeners in Peterborough are listening to your show every morning. So do give us a shout out, please.
Yes.
That's me done. I had to get that off my chest.
So did you? So you texted in?
Oh, of course I did. Yeah.
And you didn't weren't listening to see if he responded to your text or?
Yeah, but how many texts do we respond to? Come on.
No, but if we get a text, bruv, we'll say it on the show. Got a text.
Yeah, of course we will. Yeah, but he probably gets millions. We get 3 in an hour.
Well, we're working on ours, aren't we?
We are working on ours. So, guys, if you're listening to the show, please do interact. Get in touch. Let us know what you're involved in. Let us know what you've been following in the world of sport. and we'd love to take your calls as well. It's 01733 602 133. You can text or WhatsApp us on 07745 278 978. Obviously, if you're listening on Salaam Radio, check us out on Facebook and interact with the live Facebook video. So let's get right into it, guys.
Also, a little bit of boxing. There was it was a little bit of boxing match as well with Eubank.
Eubank Jr. Yeah, that was a big fight. Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Arthur Abraham to retain his IBO title.
It's a difficult one for Eubank because his dad was so awesome.
Yeah,
he was incredible, wasn't he? Back in the day, him and Ben used to dominate that world. That weight class.
They did, yeah.
But Eubank Jr. He's quite a dangerous boxer.
He's coming up. He's really, really good.
He's very aggressive. He's not like his dad. He's more of a Nigel Benn type fighter.
He is, absolutely.
Wasn't the boxers coming back in their 50? Was it Nigel Benn? They try and get a rematch with somebody.
Oh, that would be awful.
And they were saying that they won't give him the license though. There was something I'm sure I read about something like last week.
Might be right.
They won't give him the license. I don't know who it was.
You're supposed to have a medical, aren't you? And
yeah,
the doctor's supposed to.
And the two fighters wanted to fight each other. I can't remember the fighter's name. I can't remember if it was Ben or not. But they won't. And it reminded me a bit of Rocky. Like when he's trying to get his license and he's 50, I think it was Rocky 8 or 9 or 10, whatever one it is. I think we wouldn't give him a license.
Did he get his license? So that's what I want.
In Rocky, yeah, of course. Otherwise, the movie would have ended.
Yeah, it would have been a short film.
A bit of a short film.
For his license, he didn't get it.
It wasn't the one he fought outside the ring.
No, he didn't need a license for that, did he?
Oh,
So that's the one where that's the one where he coached that new lad.
Yeah.
And then he went to the other trainer. And they wanted him to do. They kept saying he's Stallone's puppet, Rocky's puppet, and he didn't like that. So he goes, "I want to fight you in the ring." He goes, "It's all about money." And Stallone said, "Come on, then let's take you outside, son." And they had a fight outside, and that's where
we just spent 2 minutes talking about Rocky.
I know, it was brilliant.
What are we doing?
Have you got the tune? Can we play it?
I think just the fact that you hummed it means this video is going to be banned from Facebook.
Oh no!
Yeah, because of copyright infringement or whatever.
Sorry,
it is.
Facebook.
Yeah, be careful. So okay, let's get on it then. Garbine Muguruza, who's that?
She won the Wimbledon Championship.
Have you ever heard of her before?
No,
I've never heard of her before.
Apparently that was her second title though, wasn't it?
Okay.
She's won the French Open before.
Wow, okay, so she's genuinely an up-and-coming, genuine contender.
Yeah.
And she beat Williams.
She beats Venus.
Venus, yeah. Serena's having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even Venus Williams, so you know about the whole...
Venus Williams, 37 years of age.
No, but you know the background story about what she's been struggling with at the moment?
No,
go on.
Got involved in she was involved in a car accident.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
So she's involved in a car accident. From what reports say...
What, in here before Wimbledon, just before Wimbledon?
No, so this was in America.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't stop at a stop sign. She just carried on going.
Oh, it was her fault?
Apparently.
Oh, it was about her.
Reports say
allegedly.
It was her, allegedly it was her fault.
Okay. I was about to say I was going to plug some claims and send them out. If there's a blame, there's a claim, and all that stuff. But
no, they're going down that route. This is America. They're way ahead of us. So they've she's actually being investigated in the civil courts for causing death by
causing death. So it was
So I don't know.
It's quite serious.
Oh yes,
obviously,
it's very serious.
Oh, okay.
So for her to come off the back of that and actually come in and compete in Wimbledon is actually saying a lot for her mental strength.
Yeah. Considering she's 37 as well, and
37,
you thought she's the one who's over the hill as well.
So I was going to ask you, because you might remember Martina Navratilova.
I do, yeah.
So I remember when I first started watching tennis, there was this really old lady who used to play, and that was her.
Yeah.
And she was still competing, and she was definitely 40. I'm sure she was about...
I don't think she was that old. She just looked old.
No, I think she
really? It was a bit like that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He looked like a baby, but he was quite old.
She
or Ravielli.
She retired at 40.
Yeah.
Okay. But she must have won a title in the late 30s.
She was the last person, the oldest person to win the title. Okay. So if Venus Williams had won it, then she would have become the oldest.
Oh, wow.
So I think they both won out, it was at 37 anyway. So.
Okay. And the fact that Williams has got into the final is saying a lot for her.
Yeah, definitely.
Muguruza, good. I didn't get to see much of her games. I saw
Konta was a big name, obviously being the British, and she would have been the first British female to get into the final.
Apparently this Garbine Muguruza is supposed to be very good.
Okay.
She can probably look at dominating for the next 2 or 3 years, because in the ladies, especially nowadays, I think you got a few people are up and coming.
Yeah, I mean, and I hope she does dominate, because then we'll hear more about her, and then we'll learn how to pronounce her name correctly.
Yeah.
Cheers, Imish.
No, it's fine. I've actually no idea. I'm reading this Garbine Muguruza. I don't know. But she obviously won convincingly in the final.
Yes, Spain, isn't it? So, and I believe her coach was the last Spanish female Wimbledon
Really?
player to win the final.
What, Gabriel Sabatini?
Yeah.
Was it?
Good, not Matt, is it?
I don't
Who is
think
it?
so.
Conchita Martinez.
Oh, Conchita Martinez. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sabatini was. I don't think she won it. I don't think she won Wimbledon.
No, Martinez did.
Conchita Martinez. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just about remember Martinez and Sabatini used to.
No, I had to research it. I don't
Did
remember.
you? No, I just about remember.
For my time.
I started watching sport early. So we've got a number of people viewing our videos on Facebook. Guys, if you want to interact with the show, we'd love to get your comments.
Well, you've
Let
got
us know what you think.
Johanna Conte, who's supposed to be up and coming as
So
well.
let's talk about Johanna Conte.
No,
Tell me a little bit
exactly.
about her. I mean, she was outside of the top 150 last year.
She was, yeah.
Yeah.
She was.
Tell me a little bit about her progress over last year.
Well, in the last 12 months, she's basically been pretty well. She's done pretty good, and obviously she's got herself to the semis of this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, her rankings
Seventh.
are up there. 7th in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's
And she was
Australia
6th
born.
seeded as well, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Why'd you have to say
That's
that?
what I'm going to say.
Why'd you have to say- why'd you have
Because
to say
that's
that?
out. Look, this is if it's out there, you want to. You have to discuss about it. Sport
she's
there.
British, but she's Australian.
Is she British,
Oh, come
or
on.
would you accept her as British?
I accept her as British.
Her parents
She
are
said the same thing about
Bulgaria.
Kevin Peterson.
Kevin Peterson. Well, yes, because South Africa wouldn't accept him in the team, so he went to England. There's a difference here. I think there should be. With tennis, it's a single sport.
Did you say the same thing about Greg Rosetsky?
Greg Rosetsky, Canadian.
Yeah,
No.
he's British. What's wrong with him?
When he lost, he was referred to as the Canadian British.
Oh,
the
that's what we
Canadian
do.
born
No,
British.
no. Andy Murray's the Great British Hope until he
And
loses,
then,
and he's
yes,
like Paul Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scottish
exactly.
then, isn't he?
I think with the teams sports, it's slightly different. All circumstances slightly different. Conte, I accept as British.
Do you accept her as British?
Yeah, I accept her as
Really?
British. Yeah, yeah.
Because you've been moaning about it for quite a
Not
bit.
moaning about it. I think it's just there for a debate.
I mean,
It's
for
just there
the
to
benefit of our
discuss.
listeners, off air, Sadat was having a gripe about how Conte's not actually British. So she was born in Australia. She grew up in Australia,
Grew up for 13 years, 14 years, I believe, in Australia.
which is where you really develop your basic tennis skills, right?
yeah. It's like our allegiances. Even though we were born here, we feel like we're Pakistanis.
Well, that's because of cricket. But if it's football, then we support England.
Yeah, because I don't see Pakistan playing football.
Speak for yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you or if I agree with Arif. I'm not sure. Or
You're sitting on
neither
the
of you.
fence.
Well, no, listen, Image. Put it this way, yeah.
Go on, ask me a question
Yours-
that would determine
Your son,
my
yeah,
son,
gets selected for England, yeah.
or
Oui.
gets selected for Pakistan.
Pakistan.
As a
He gets
choice.
selected for both in
Yeah.
football.
In football.
Right.
Oh, we're England all the way.
So let's go for it then. Well, who are you gonna?
I would tell him to go play for England.
yeah,
Absolutely. There you
Why?
go.
Why though?
Because he's going to be competing at a much higher
Exactly.
level. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So that's not a fair comparison.
Yes.
Also,
But
money.
Cricket.
Money as well.
Cricket
Let's
is
go-
different.
No. Internationally, you don't get paid. I mean, you get paid.
But
right?
you get media coverage. That's what we're talking about. It's the whole global
Okay.
media
Okay.
coverage.
So we've
isn't
kind
it?
of gone off on a tangent now, but I like the way this conversation is going because, as some of you guys might know, Ronaldinho, Ryan Giggs,
Yeah, it came.
Rio Ferdinand, and a number of others. I think it was
Got
David James
Giggs.
was there. Giggsy there, yeah.
yeah.
They're all in Pakistan.
Pakistan.
right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're taking part in this promotional tour
Yep.
and a few games and
Fantastic.
whatnot.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And I just think if you are a Pakistani, so we've got a call coming in. We'll take that call. In fact, we'll take that call now. We'll pick this up after this call.
Okay.
Just give me a moment. Assalamu alaikum. You are live on Salaam Radio. Who am I speaking to?
Wa alaikum salam. This is Adil.
Oh, Adil Kareem. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. What do you want to talk about?
I'd like to ask a question to Sadat.
Oh, you want to ask Sadat a question?
Put the volume up.
Go on, Sadat.
This question has been
Image.
killing the community of Peterborough.
Sorry, you need to say that a little bit louder. I'm struggling to hear you.
I said this question has been killing the community of Peterborough. The
Oh, this
footballing
question has
community.
been killing the community of people. This sounds ominous. Go on. Are we going to regret taking your call, Adil? Is this suitable for air?
You know, fights have happened, doors have been broken.
What's the question? Give me the question.
Who is a better all-round player, Image or Arif?
Oh. What are we talking about? Football, cricket?
He's either.
We're talking about football.
Oh, football.
That goes without saying, doesn't it?
Here we go. So, I don't know if Arif wants this discussion to take place on air. And I don't know if he wants. I don't know if he wants Sadat to be the arbitrator.
You know what? I'm glad that's answering that question and not
Sadat,
us.
over to you, mate. Who's the better all-round footballer, Image or
So
Arif?
doors have been broken, fights have been undertaken. I'm very surprised. It's Image, hands down.
Oh,
This is typical.
Wow.
Sadat. I didn't expect anything else than that.
I thought you were just happy that question was sent to me.
Adil, what do you think?
this is what I mean. This is why doors have been broken.
Yeah.
Not been
Well, no,
opened.
I mean, thanks for calling in.
My
It
doors-
gives us an
I broke some
opportunity. It
doors.
gives us an opportunity to tell the listeners that Adil is actually the new FC Peterborough under 12s
Yeah.
manager. So we look forward to working with him. But Adil, you clearly know a lot about football, and you've had the experience of playing with both Arif and myself. Give us your views, strengths and weaknesses. We'd love to hear it.
I think for myself, when it comes to sheer passion, it's got to be Arif.
I would second that. I would third that. That's
Passion won't
When
win you
it
the
comes
game.
When it comes to technical ability, I think it's Image. It's like I'd compare you to Image being Ryan Giggs and Arif being Roy Keane.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Joey Barton.
Yeah.
No, listen, that's a good comparison.
Yeah,
Jason
thanks,
McAteer.
thanks for picking two Manchester United players, given we're both hardcore Liverpool supporters.
Yeah.
You know, really appreciate that. That's all. Other just while you're on the.
I'm enjoying your show. I'm sitting here listening to it, and well done to all the guys, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Just
Thanks for
one
the
other
call.
thing. We'd like to thank you, and hopefully you'll have a great season this year with us as well. And
I look
you know,
forward to
we're looking forward to seeing in action.
Yeah, we're going to come watch your first few games, and
Yeah.
when you start losing, we'll stop coming. If you keep winning, we'll keep coming. That's just how it works.
Thank you very much.
But now, best of luck and thanks for the call. Adil.
Thank you very
Nice one.
much.
Assalamu alaikum. Let me just cut that off. And that was Adil Karim. Thank you so much, Adil, for your call. So yeah, Adil reckons I'm a much better footballer than you, and then he asked Sadat, and Sadat reckons I'm a much better footballer than
Yeah,
you.
well, I'm surprised that he didn't ask me.
I don't know. I mean,
What do you put me in?
Arif should have just come out with the typical
I'm a better footballer
Liverpool
than both of
fans
you.
line. He's like, "What have you won? What have you won?" You know, because if we come down to trophies, I'm sure Arif's trophy cabinet is stocked.
Do
and
you
loaded.
know what it is? My trophy cabinet was stocked 10 years ago. I've not won anything in the last 10 years.
Are you serious?
I think you've won a lot more in the last 10
Yeah,
years.
but as a manager though, so, and
But
plus,
still,
you know, I mean, the viewers clearly know that I'm a lot younger than you, so obviously
a lot younger.
a lot.
Okay.
I'll just put that in there. There's a few comments. There's a few comments coming on our Facebook feed. What have we got? We've got Adil Ahmed Karim watching, Ansar Ali watching, Mohammed Khalid Munir watching. He's giving Ansar a salam. Ansar's giving George a salam. Ahmed Mustafa's joined us. Ahmed Mustafa, what do you think of Manchester United? They've not spent £1 billion this summer, unlike last summer. So what is going on? Tell us what you think about Manchester United's chances in the season coming up. Their recent signing, we said they signed. Who did they sign? They signed that Lindelof.
Yeah.
And they've completed the signing of Lukaku.
Yes.
But they've still probably got about 700-800 million left in the bank, in the war chest. So let us know who they should sign.
Well, they've got rid of wages, haven't they? Ibrahimovic wages gone, Rooney's wages gone.
Yeah, that's a massive release of funds.
Well, Ibra apparently might be.
EBP is others watching, and Ray Sabas is watching as well. Ray, Salaam alaikum, thanks for watching. Ijaz Ahmed is watching. Guys, text in, interact with the show, let us know what you want us to be talking about. I think this is the highest viewership we've ever had.
No. We had double figures, yeah.
Have we had double figures?
Yes.
Right, guys, come on, let's get on
Is it when Image wasn't here?
Yeah.
It probably was.
It's when you weren't here.
No,
That's me and Hamza.
That's because I was at home watching.
It was me and Hamza, and all the whole family was watching.
And I had 3 machines on. I had it on my iPad, on my laptop. Other tablets are available. Okay, so what were we talking about? We went off on a tangent, but I was thinking, you know, like how if you become a famous cricket player, so there was a famous cricket player in India, you are like a rock star.
Of course,
in Pakistan, if you become a famous cricket player, you are an absolute rock star, and all that promotional benefit that comes with it. And if you get a good manager, you can get some great exposure. You're talking about a country of 200 million population. If you become a footballer, let's say you become a footballer that's playing in one of the top leagues, it doesn't have to be for the Uniteds or the Barcelonas, the Atletico Madrids of this world, Real Madrid's even if you're playing in a top league and you're playing for a team like, say, Fulham, Everton, something like that, you're playing in a top league that's televised all around the world, you would be an absolute rock star when it came to, you know, being in Pakistan. If you play for the Pakistani national team, the whole country would follow you, and then your commercial revenue would be through the roof. Teams would sign you so they could do pre-season tours of Pakistan. The teams would sign you so that they could push their own shirt sales
of course they would,
in Pakistan. And this is why players from Southeast Asia, to an extent, Kagawa and Park Ji-sung. Park Ji-sung was a brilliant player. I'm not saying United signed him purely for commercial reasons, but Park Ji-sung
it was an
enabled
element
a
of that
tour
as well.
of the Far East. Kagawa signing enabled a tour of the Far East. So those kinds of commercial benefits players do look at. When Real Madrid signed David Beckham,
it was all commercially
as good a player as he was. They knew.
Yeah.
I mean, they sold more Beckham shirts than they did Zidane shirts. That tells you a lot about what fans go for. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's the money aspect of whether you choose to play for. Obviously, if you want to be playing at the top stage, I mean, Lionel Messi is desperate for success at the highest level, the international stage. Ronaldo's got his success.
Those guys are playing at the top level for the top clubs.
They're playing for Real and Barca.
Yeah.
So they are, but they think that they can only justify their legendary status by winning something on the international stage. What do you think of that?
Well,
sorry,
I mean, there's a text. No, I was actually reading this text here from Ejaz when we were talking about cricket as well.
Go on.
It goes, ICC dish out match among the cricket nations. Seems like Pakistan and Bangladesh are always left out of fixtures and get less matches.
Okay, so Pakistan get left out of the fixtures because they can't play home fixtures.
Yeah.
So Pakistan are always ever going to have like half the tour that other teams have, firstly. Secondly, they're going to try and entice people to come to, Dubai, UAE, and play matches there where they dominate. So teams going there, they're just going to take a hiding to nothing, right?
It's true.
No chance.
But there's always rumours and there's always talks about bringing Pakistan over here and even India because they attract the most.
Yeah, they would.
Pakistan and India. So they want a tri-series like in England, Pakistan,
but
India.
I'm just going to give a couple of shout outs. Maz Nazir is watching. Maz, nice of you to join us. Sadat Akram has written a text comment. Sadat Akram? Sadat Akram reckons the top four is going to be United, Chelsea, City, Arsenal.
I was just responding to the question from Adil.
Oh, okay, so that's Adil's question, yeah? I don't think that's a bad shout, to be honest with you. Ijaz, this question you just read out. Ahmed Mustafa says, great show, guys. Have you been watching the build-up to the McGregor Mayweather? Oh, we're going to talk about that, Ahmed. We are definitely going to be talking about that. You're going to have to join us straight after the break. Ahmed's come back with United will continue to play boring football, especially with the signing of Lukaku. Well, Ahmed, you know what? That text has got you an invite to the show next week. I'd love to have you.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll be hearing this time. Yeah, this is our year. This year.
So, guys, thanks for listening. We are going to go on a very short break. Thank you so much for the interactions and the texts. Thanks for the call in, Adil. Just before we go, though, I just want to go back to you because I kind of cut you off there. What do you think then? If you had, say, Zach develops into an amazing footballer, he plays professionally, and he gets a choice of playing for England or Italy, then where would he go? Or Pakistan? He'd have three. He'd have England, Italy, or Pakistan. Where would he go? What would he do?
I think
you got 5 seconds.
For me, it has to be England.
Has to be England.
Yeah.
So that England or Pakistan?
Football. Cricket. Football, England. Cricket, Pakistan.
All right. Join us after the break, guys. Salaam.
Do you have a cigarette?
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Please give your brothers and sisters in the developing world the gift of clean, safe water. They can use it for drinking, for cooking, for watering their crops, and even for their livestock and animals. They'll also use the water that you provide them to make wudu. Log on to our website, pennyappeal.org, or call on 03000 11 11 11.
City Homes Estate Agents are your #1 independent family-owned agency in Peterborough. We offer a range of services including buying, selling, letting, mortgages and conveyancing. Why not call us today and find out for yourself why our customers return time and time again. We have a track record for achieving some of the highest prices in and around the area for our clients. With over 10 years of operating in the area, we are the experts in this market. Put us to the test today by calling 01733 348 677 and quote discount code RADIO for our exclusive rates for this promotion. City Homes, bringing people together for over 10 years.
आला बड़े पैसे आई गिने कराना दो भाई काम शुरू कराए
पैसे नहीं भाई यूके प्लम्बिंग एंड डीआईवाई नहीं ऑफर ही इस रानी है
लाला यूके प्लम्बिंग वाले कड़ियां चीजां बेचने न
घर है कि अपग्रेड करनियां सारियां चीजां बाथां टॉयलेटां टैप्स बॉयलर रेडिएटर प्लम्बिंग फिटिंग्स पेंट स्टोर डीआईवाई टाइलां सारा कुछ बेचने नहीं चीजां कोई सस्तियां में बेचने को नहीं ओए साल ले 12 महीने इन्हां दी ऑफरां लगियां होणियां नहीं
जल्दी कर मी पता दस होए मैं भी करना काम शुरू करासां
ऐ किन्ना पता
Please visit us at Unit 2 Brassey Close, Lincoln Road Industrial Estate, PE1 2AZ, or call 01733 555 826. UK Plumbing and DIY, a name you can trust.
Do you have lots of clutter at home or in the office that needs to be kept but nowhere to keep it? Ivet Self-Storage offers a secure, affordable, clean and dry home for your belongings. We have security systems in place which are monitored 24 hours a day, ensuring that your items are safe. With a simple monthly payment, Ivet Self-Storage provides secure and tailored facilities to meet your specific requirements, whether short or long term. We offer the best prices and longest opening hours in Peterborough. For more information, please call on 01733 306 456 or visit us at Ivet Way, Westwood.
Please, can you call me? Please, for God's sake. I'm really in trouble. Please, Allah the Wasta, call me.
This was a real message. It was left not just for us, but for you. Thousands of our brothers and sisters in the UK are crying out for your help. Don't hang up on them. Find out more and fulfill your third pillar with us. Visit nzf.org.uk. National Zakat Foundation, serving zakat payers and recipients nationwide.
आंसू जारी हो गए। बाबा से गले मिलकर वो बरसों की जुदाई पर खूब रोए। फिर यूसुफ अलैहिस्सलाम ने फरमाया, अब आप लोग यहीं मेरे साथ रहेंगे और परेशान होने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। उसके बाद हजरत यूसुफ अलैहिस्सलाम उन सबको अपने महल में ले आए। दरबार की शान और शौकत देखकर वो सब हैरान रह गए और फिर अचानक उन नेमतों पर खुदा का शुक्र अदा करने
This is Salaam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio. Broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Salaam Sports. We had a very eventful first half of the show.
Yes. Do you know what I'd just like to mention is it's good to get George on the show.
George?
Yeah.
Yeah, George, is he on the show? Is he still interacting?
He's I think he is interacting.
Yeah. George, get your comments in. Let us know what you want to talk about, mate. Anything you want to talk about in terms of the world of sport, we will be happy to talk about that. And I just want to say something that I said off air. So Adil rang in asking about who's the better footballer all round, me or Arif, and I think it was unanimous that I was the all-round better player.
Goes without saying.
Now,
all of a sudden, just to know what's coming up.
No, but off air I said, look, I've got a lot of respect for Arif. I think Arif is an absolute legend in the game. Anybody who knows anything knows there's a very good reason why Arif is chairman of our football club. He went out to play with people when our people were all intro looking into our own community. He's played for multiple clubs. He's played at a high level. And he's really paved the way for a lot of us younger players. So when we were growing up, we were looking at him, and you can tell now, especially with his family links. He's got his cousins and his nephews all playing, and there's a good reason for that. They obviously look up to him as well. Players like Shaz and Said and Safi, these guys, and then obviously Adil the youngster, fantastic, yeah. So just to be compared in the same bracket as players like Arif and Sadat.
No, come on.
He didn't put me in the bracket. He made me the judge, didn't he?
It's an absolute privilege.
Adil didn't even ask.
So thanks for that, Adil. Let's go on to guys. You're not telling us what's going on in the Wimbledon. I know.
Oh yeah,
Federer
what's
was
going on?
One set to love up. So
he was winning the second set as well. I think we was 2-0 up.
Two games up.
And I hear that what's his name, Cilic had a bit of a breakdown. He was crying on court. He had some kind of issue. So I don't know if anybody's texted.
Just because the way the game was going, or the dispute with the.
I think it's probably emotions for the game, because Wimbledon is the holy grail, isn't it?
Wimbledon,
can I say that?
You can, I suppose, yeah. No, but of the four majors, I would say, not just because of the British bias, it's genuinely known as the one that everybody really wants to win.
Really?
Traditionally, tennis is a game that's played on tennis. It's one of the oldest ones.
Grass.
It's grass, isn't it?
It is grass, yeah.
Yeah. You said tennis on tennis.
Did I say tennis on tennis?
Yeah.
Tennis is traditionally a game that's usually played on tennis. Grass, and it's one of the older ones. Was that the first of the four majors, or was it Roland Garros?
That's a good question.
If any of our listeners are listening, let us know what the first major.
I think Wimbledon is the oldest, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like in golf when they say the US Open and then they say the Open, because the British Open is the Open. That's the Open.
It is, yeah.
So a lot of the sports obviously originate from here, and then we ship them out to the rest of the world.
And they get better.
As part of colonization.
They get better.
And they get better, and then we just cry about it. So let us know what's going on. Maz, I think if you're still watching, you must be following the tennis. Let us know what's going on in the tennis. I'd quite like to know. But Federer, I mean, he's been almost in the wilderness, hasn't he?
He has.
He's got on with his business, hasn't he? While the others were like Nadal, he looked really strong until he was a shock defeat.
Yep.
We all knew Murray had
you're talking about this competition.
Yeah. Yes, this
competition.
About
the last 2 or 3 years.
I think. I think Federer was coming to the twilight of his career, really, wasn't he?
We thought he was done. Yeah. That's it. It's all over.
I mean, it just shows you what sort of character he's got, and he's unbelievable.
Do you think he's adjusted his game though accordingly?
I don't know. I think this tournament itself has fallen correctly for him.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, the top 2 seeds are both out.
Yeah.
and he's got a chance. And Nadal himself, who was absolutely awesome when he started this tournament, he sort of lost, didn't he? And so it's
so
given
I've got
him
a bit of an update for you then. Federer's 2 sets to love up. He won 6-3 and 6-1. So it does look like Cilic had a bit of a burnout. Do you think
it's all over?
Yeah, Cilic.
I think it is. I think it's all over. I think to come back from 2 sets down for Cilic, it's gonna be
against Federer.
It's gonna be very, very.
Has to be a bigger player to do that against Federer.
And I think the only way he's gonna come back if Federer has an injury. I can't.
So Federer, well, it seems like he's going to win.
Yeah.
So he'll be a world record, wouldn't it, for him for 8th Wimbledon?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I world record, Wimbledon record.
He'll be the most successful Wimbledon player in history.
Who was the one before him?
Sampras.
Oh,
Pete Sampras. Yeah.
Not reading my notes.
He knows his tennis.
He didn't know. He was looking down.
He knows his tennis. Don't question him on tennis. He knows his tennis.
Ask me about tennis. Ask me about Formula 1.
How many times did Sampras win?
Sampras has won it 7 times.
Oh, just checking because he knows it's 8. Yeah, doesn't he?
It wasn't difficult.
No, but Maz isn't your strongest point.
Maz Nazir has confirmed Federer is 2 sets up, but Cilic is on serve in the 3rd. What does that mean, Arif? What does it mean to be on serve?
It means he'll go ahead if he's.
So he starts serving.
Yeah.
Ah, see, Arif is on it too. Let's move on to the cricket. Amla's out.
Is he?
Amla's out on 87.
Oh, Amla.
But I mean, South Africa, you'd think it's almost unassailable now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
they're going to hit 450, maybe even 500.
I think if the only way England can win it is if it rains.
They can win it if it rains.
I'm sorry, they can only draw the match.
The best they can hope for is rain.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the score? Did you say? I know Amla's out. Did someone tell you the score?
Nobody told me the score, but I'm assuming they're going to be about 330, 340 up.
Okay, fine.
With about 4 wickets down.
Yeah, so if Amla's the next was the last wicket to fall and only wicket to fall. Yeah.
I mean, what kind of England cannot even be looking for a target now, right? If England are thinking,
England want to restrict them and try and bowl them out as quick as
slow the run rate.
Slow the run rate. Yeah.
Well, they've already done that, haven't they? They've managed to slow the run rate because apparently.
Well, with South Africa, like we said, it's the 3rd day. They're not really keen to go guns blazing at this stage because they've got plenty of time.
They've got plenty of time. Yeah.
The only thing, like Arif was saying, they need probably to keep an eye on the weather, see what's happening in the next 2 days, and if it is going to rain, they probably want to declare early on that basis.
So as an England captain, then you're 350. Let's just say 350 odd runs behind. You've got over 2 days of play. You can't necessarily slow the run rate down because that's not going to help you. You have to attack, right?
Yes.
You have to just try and take
the wickets.
And what's the best case scenario for England now? Bowl them out for 400 lead, and then bat out 2 days.
Yeah.
Try and get the because they can't rely on rain, right?
I think
no one should ever rely on rain.
I think if you're an Australian, then you'll go for the win.
Then you've got nothing to do with this test.
Yeah, then you're going to go for the win, aren't you?
So are you saying the mentality of Australia?
Yeah, the mentality is going to be different to
what? So if Australia, so you're replacing England with Australia? Are you sorry?
Yeah, because Australia will predominantly go for the win, won't they? They'd want to win the game.
Any team, I think, will be struggling to get through 400 batting last on those conditions. It'll just be mentally be too much. I think it's very rare that's happened.
Yeah, so it's just a mental block.
And to be honest, England, and the problem with England, I think, with the first innings is their middle order, as strong as it is, they're very attacking.
Yeah.
And with Test match, sometimes you just have to know when to attack and when to consolidate and just relax.
Well, I think
it's
and do different games.
I think that was one of the arguments when Moeen Ali got caught out, didn't he?
Silly shot on the back foot.
Yeah.
Just
Guess who's watching?
Who, us?
Guess who's watching us? Kami Karnal Neely from QA. Assalamu alaikum, Kami.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks for watching. Interact with the show.
Someone who knows a lot about football and sports.
He knows a lot about football and sports, and he knows a lot about Kuwaiti sports as well, because he's out in Kuwait at the moment.
He's our resident Kuwaiti expert, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's Kami, get in touch with the show. Let us know how it's going. He's involved in the AC Milan Academy over in Kuwait.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He's teaching them the ropes. He's telling
tiki-taka.
He's telling them about tiki-taka. Because Italian football is just boring defensive football, isn't it? I hate watching Serie A
solid
football. It's ridiculous. So I hope you're having a good time out there, Cami. I hope you're enjoying the football and all the opportunities. He goes to a lot of events there as well. There's quite a lot of access to events where he is.
Well, he's really involved, isn't he? Considering he's gone out there to work and he's got nothing else going on. His family's all here. His immediate family's obviously with him, so he's gonna find a lot of time. And he's a football fanatic, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
Okay, so let's talk about hashtag Maymac.
What farce? Are we talking about the farce?
Absolute farce. I mean, honestly, what is going on with that?
But that's him all over, like I said earlier, isn't it? Because he does that even in his own sport. Sorry,
McGregor.
Mac. Yeah.
You know, like, actually, you know, before this, I'd seen McGregor and I thought he was always charismatic and sometimes he was a little bit over the top. But I think he's pushed the boundaries this time round. I mean, does he seriously think he's got a hope in hell chance of actually beating Mayweather?
Okay, so I'll let you answer that question. Do you think he thinks he can win?
In his maybe deluded mind.
Oh, so you think he genuinely thinks he can win?
Yeah, I think he genuinely
What
thinks
about
he
you,
can win.
Sadat? Do you reckon Conor McGregor thinks he's got a chance?
He's got to think that.
Wow, okay, so I'm in the
He's got to think that. If he thinks he's going to lose and he's doing all this and then he's a bigger fool than I thought he was.
Well, my view is this, I mean, he was, you know, one of the best MMA fighters around. And his charisma, if you want to call it that, his loud mouth propped up the whole of the UFC.
Yep.
You know, made it into a business that's worth billions.
Yep.
And it got it onto the map. So now UFC is an established sport, which, you know, it's kind of been in the wilderness for, I reckon it's been around for what, 20, 30 years in some form or another.
It has, yeah.
Yep.
And only now, where I think the first actual official commissioned fight took place, I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s, where it was like, you can come from any discipline you want, you can fight and here are the rules. And that was like mixed martial arts, and they had like a 300-pound big boxer versus some karate master or something. Yeah?
Sumo wrestler.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like a complete mismatch, and it's evolved. Conor McGregor has got a lot to do with that. You know, he is definitely the poster boy of the UFC.
He is his marketing man, isn't he?
But he's left that world now, and now what he's trying to do is he's trying to generate interest in a super fight, the first billion-pound fight in history, and he's doing everything he can. I think any sportsman knows you can't just go into a sport and expect to be not just good, but like the best there's ever been.
Yeah.
Because Mayweather is the best there's ever been. You know, we'd love to talk about Muhammad Ali, and we'd love to talk about Tyson, and we'd love to talk about, you know, Sugar Ray and all those kinds of like absolute legends of the sport. But this guy's 49-0, and he's beaten everyone, and he's impossible to hit, and he's not even struggled.
Very clever.
He's not even struggled in any of his fights. Versus someone who's a little bit of an amateur boxer back in the day, did grappling, did wrestling, you know, did all that kind of stuff, and he's of course very successful in MMA, but you're not up against an average boxer, you're up against a world-class boxer. And if you're a sports person, you know, you have respect for yourself, but you also have respect for the opposition, and he's got to know that the opponent is way too good for him.
I'm surprised that I mean, where's he fighting, by the way?
Where's the fight? Is it in New York?
I'm
I'm surprised that if it is in New York, that they've actually given him a license to box against a seasoned professional, not just that, a world champion. You know,
money talks, though, doesn't it? Money talks.
Yeah, I think money talks.
Know, if you deny somebody a
yeah,
medical
but why would you? Yeah, I was about to say the reason that people get license, and I could be completely wrong here, but it's not because if you can or can't box, isn't it? Because it's medically, if he's fit and he's there, so he can start training and then box.
That's a fair point.
Is it though? Is that the reason you know?
Okay,
I mean,
so
would
to
you
get into a fight, to be involved in a boxing fight, you need to be medically signed off.
Yeah.
When they sign you off medically, they don't sign you off medically saying this guy is
knows how to
medically
do
fit
a
enough.
right hook.
No, they don't say he's fit enough to fight the world champion.
No,
they say
so he
he's
can
fit
fight
enough to be in a ring.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So he's got his medical license. That's absolutely fine.
And the money's made him get him into the ring with Mayweather.
Yeah, and that just shows you, because Mayweather can dodge the number one shot for the title, but he won't dodge a billion-pound fight, will he?
Yeah.
It's all about money, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, especially Mayweather.
Have you been watching it on the social media? All these comments.
I've tuned into a little bit of it.
Because all here is all play acting, and they've been coming on the plane together, and they've been traveling together.
So it is.
So the fight's in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
A little birdie tells me. Zaid,
okay.
Thanks for that, Zaid. Maz, you've said Federer broken in the third. Game over.
Ooh.
How can it be game over if Federer is broken? Because Federer is 2 sets up. So do you mean Federer has broken?
I think Federer's what he's trying to say is Federer's broken Chilich. Yeah.
Oh, Federer's broken Chilich in the third.
It must be. Yeah. It must be. Yeah.
That would make a little bit more sense. I just need to learn to read. Cheers, Maz. Keep us posted, mate. So Zaid's confirmed the fight's in Las Vegas, and I was just thinking about this yesterday. Like, you know, the fans. It's not like the fans don't know this is just to raise money. The fans know, because they're blatantly, in every press conference, they're pulling out satchels full of cash. You know, and they're going, "Oh, you pay me," and then they.
But what's the difference between then WWE? Fans know that that's not really.
What's the difference? I think it's a big difference.
WWE is
fixed. Okay, so Mansoor Latif will tell you it's not fixed. Mansoor, if you're listening, can you tell Sadat
close your ears,
that
please.
WWE is not fixed?
It's like you're telling me Santa's real.
But no, if WWE is fixed, but it's entertainment, and people know it's entertainment. Only the children.
That's what this is. This is entertainment at another level.
Right.
So they've both brought it as an entertainment, which is costing a lot of money.
So I know you're just being provocative and you're just trying to be devil's advocate. So I appreciate that because it gives me the opportunity to answer to you. What I'm answering to you is they are disgracing the establishment that is boxing. There's a long tradition. People have fought for this sport to bring it to the level that it's at. There's an element of professionalism there. There's people who train for years and years and years.
Yep.
They go around the circuit. They fight everyone they can. They train for years, and then they try and get a shot. They try and get a shot at the European title, the British title, the world title. They do all that. This guy's come across from the UFC, and he said, okay, there's a champion that knows how to make money. I'm a champion in UFC. I know how to make money. Let's abuse the world of boxing. Let's abuse the boxing fans. Let's get it on Sky and get it on pay-per-view. Let's see if we can generate £1 billion, and let's see if we can line our pockets. And that, for me, if you want to do it as a standalone thing, that's absolutely fine. But I just think it's disgusting that they're debasing, they're
it is a standalone thing, isn't it? It's not going to. This sort of fight probably wouldn't ever happen again.
Probably won't.
Yeah. So it's a one-off thing, and I don't see all the boxers getting involved.
It's a farce, though, isn't it?
I don't see the greats coming and commentating about this fight. It is just these two promoting their sides because they're putting so much money in it. And the UFC fans are coming out.
Zaid Mahmood's put in a comment. So Zaid, we'll come back to your comment in a second. I just want to finish this conversation. Zaid's talking about Sanchez and the Champions League, so we'll talk about it in a little while. We'll get into the football in about 2 or 3 minutes. But go on, sorry, Sadat, cut you off.
Yeah, sorry. So I was saying, I don't see all the boxing greats or the boxing commentators coming out and discussing these fights and they're promoting it. It's just these two camps promoting it. You've got the UFC supporters for McGregor going and for him Floyd Mayweather.
It's the media, isn't it? The media are the one who's interested in seeing this fight.
I think they've generated it so much that the media can't. It's like us; we can't not discuss it.
I mean,
because it's out there.
They're putting a video up, and the video is getting like 1 million hits.
Yeah, so the media
Everybody's
has to.
sharing it on social media.
So it has to be followed.
The world of boxing is not promoting the fight. You're
No.
right. The world of UFC is not promoting it.
No.
UFC is not promoting it because they're getting nothing from it.
No.
The world of boxing is not promoting it because there's no titles riding on it. It's just a money fight.
It's just a money fight.
It's just a money fight.
It's just one saying, I'm tougher than you, let's have a fight.
The only people that are going to promote it are the two camps. And they're going to pay for their own referee and they'll pay for their venue and obviously, and then they'll sell it on. And if there's a market for it, the media, you can't really blame the media. If there's a market for it, the
media is going to go for it, aren't they?
If we could get a market of media behind me and Arif, I'll say, I can take on Arif.
I was going to say, we're on the radio now because there's a high demand for people listening to the rubbish that we spout on the airs, on the airwaves. So that's why.
Mine's general research rubbish,
Sadat,
to be honest.
Sadat, you just
yours is a complete lack of research and just hearsay. Pure hearsay.
Where's my hearsay?
You just said something.
Yes, bro.
Did you want a boxing match with me or something, or do you want to get it on? Is that what you're trying to say?
Anytime.
I'll tell
anywhere.
you what. I'd
if the money's right, Arif, if you're paying up, I'll take you on.
I'd pay £10 to watch that fight.
Well, there you go. You got £10 there.
Definitely
we'll split that £5 each. Yeah.
I won't cover the higher of the hall.
Yeah, Zaid Hamid's already said Team Arif. So, Zaid, how much would you put down to watch Arif beat Sadat in a boxing
he's
match?
related to Arif. They're all related.
Cousins,
Chacha, Mame, all coming in.
There you go.
Arif's got big muscles.
It's not all about muscles.
Zaid Mahmood's come back and he said, what do you think about Sanchez's comment about wanting to play in the Champions League? A little bit controversial because we're past the whole circus of the end of the season and the fact that they didn't get the Champions League, and if there was going to be interest in that, or do you reckon his agent's been busy in the background?
But if he says he wants to play in the Champions League, I mean, it depends on the context he's said it in. He's just probably saying, are you happy? He goes, no, I want to play in the Champions League. But doesn't mean he's leaving Arsenal. He's just saying that his ambitions is to win and go and play for the Champions League.
So you're absolutely right. But players, when they say something like, I want to play in the Champions League, that's usually a coded message. We know all about that because we've missed out on Champions League and we lose a lot of players. As Liverpool fans, we do. The number of times we've heard that from our players who want to be in the players, and you're like, oh, he wants to play in the Champions League. Oh, no.
We've got no chance. We've got no chance to get him.
He's leaving.
Yeah, but when Liverpool did get into the Champions League, they still couldn't attract big players.
So you can have a dig, but let's stay on topic. That's fine. I'll allow you that. That's absolutely fine. But what do you think? Is Sanchez on his way out?
I think he's on his way out.
Yeah.
I think he wants to play. I'd like to see him at Man City.
Would you, as a Liverpool fan, want to see him at Man City?
Yeah, I'd like to see him at Man City.
I'd like to see him at Liverpool. We'll give him Champions League.
But we're not. He's not going. He's not going to come to
This
us
year,
This time.
we're in.
Oh, is Liverpool in?
We got 4.
Oh, yeah.
We got 4.
Klopp's not interested in him.
I forgot.
We beat you in the league.
Oh, yeah.
We won the mini league between us and you
We got trophies.
for like the 3rd time in 20 years. So Cammy reckons he's going to United.
There's a rumor though, isn't there? There's a rumor that even Nadeem Parvez said a few days ago that Sanchez is going to
United.
Yeah, I don't know
Is
where.
that because Nadeem knows the tea lady at United?
Must be.
She's mentioned something to him.
Margaret.
Cammy, I'll tell you what. I don't know if he's going to United, but Sanchez Lukaku, that would just be ridiculous.
I'll
That
be
would be
very
so good.
surprised, and it'll be very shocking if Sanchez leaves to another Premier League team. If Arsenal,
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I can't
I
be
would not be surprised
that
at
is the
well,
worst move
apparently-
Arsenal could do is to let him go to another Premier League
well,
team.
apparently Juventus are in for him as well. So I think
If he
Arsenal
goes, it'll
probably
have to
push
be
it to
outside.
Juventus.
So in my opinion, if he was to leave,
Yeah.
Arsenal, as much as they don't like selling to their competitors, they've done it in the past. Adebayor, they lost to their competitors. Man City, in fact, a lot of them go to Man City, don't they?
Yeah.
They lost Nasri to Man
When
City.
Adebayor
Van
went
Persie
to
to
City, I
Van
don't
Persie to
think-
United.
Yeah.
So they do sell their top players to their direct competitors. So I would not be so. And also,
I think the
Sanchez-
biggest one is there is probably Van
Van Persie was
Persie.
probably the biggest one, yeah.
Van Persie.
In
With
terms of how
respect
good
to
he was.
Tottenham
He
and
won the-
Adebayor.
he won the
or-
si-
sorry, not
Nasri was
Tottenham, City.
Nasri was not quite at that level.
No,
He
and
was-
not Adebayor and City weren't quite at that level.
City weren't quite at that level when they
Well,
started.
United won the league, didn't they? The
With
following
Van
season.
Persie, yeah. Yep.
So
that's the reason why Van Persie wanted to go to United.
Oh, Zaid Mahmood. I love that comment. He goes, I'm not sure. Sanchez can't quite play left back, so he won't suit United. The last 10 players United signed have been left backs. With the expression of Lukaku.
Look, we can have Diggs as much as you like, but
they got Blind. Who is it? They got
Blind's
Shaw.
been there a while now.
Left back, right?
No, centre back. He's been midfield. The thing is, with
Just
United,
take it on the chin.
United,
Take it on the chin.
players
Sanchez
they've
can't play
got-
left
they've
back.
got players.
Just take it on the chin. Let's just move on.
No.
Cheers, Zaid. We love your comments. Keep them coming, bro.
I can see Sanchez playing left back for United rather than playing for Liverpool anywhere.
Hassan Akhtar, he's joined us. He's joined this circus that we are running today. Hassan, get in touch with your views. We're only online. We're only live for another 5 minutes, guys. So again, your
5
comments
more
in.
minute.
5 more minutes. And I just wanted to say, did you hear the comments that Rooney's been coming out with?
I saw the goal he
about-
scored.
Oh, what a goal! Did you see the goal?
yeah, I saw the goal.
It was very similar to the goal that he scored, his first goal when he on his
Against
debut-
Arsenal.
Against Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
That was much better. The Arsenal one was.
The Arsenal one, yeah, we shrugged a couple of players off.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It was
similar
running
in
on the
terms of-
pace. This time he had more time. Players were further away from him, and
He's
he
just
looked
20
up
years
But it
to
was
old,
still
isn't he?
25 yards.
Oh, you
top
know,
left
great
corner,
goal, without a doubt. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic finish. But
So what's Rooney
apparently,
been saying?
Apparently, he said the standards at United have dropped in recent years.
Wow.
What are your views?
He's probably right. He knows more than the tea lady. If he feels that that's happened, then it's probably it has. He's got more information than anybody else.
So I would say he's just stating the obvious, because United used to win or finish second and always do well in the Champions League year on year on year under Sir Alex Ferguson. And
they
since
used to
then,
play-
What do you
They
mean?
used-
Standards always say desire. I don't know.
They
It depends
used to
on 'cause the
always
manager.
play a brand of football, though, didn't they?
They did.
And they're not renowned for.
Did you secretly used to watch them because it was good football?
Well,
steady football?
I used to hate them, but
But
yeah,
you
I
used to
used
enjoy
to
the
watch
football.
them, and I used to, think they used to
It's
play
true.
some
No,
good
it's true.
football.
It's true. I mean,
You
I've,
know.
I've got no issues with that. Federer has just won Wimbledon.
Mubarakul, Mubarakul. Matthias all over.
Is that a new record, Arif?
That is a new record.
Is that his 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th? What is it?
9th, I think.
Oh! No, it's Pete Sampras is
Yeah.
done 8.
No, he hasn't.
Don't confuse him. Don't confuse him. Cheers for the update, Maz.
Listen, we didn't.
Maz,
even-
while you're still
we-
there, if
we-
you're still watching, let us know how the cricket's getting on, because we're stuck
Yeah,
in the
what's the
studio. We
score?
can't follow
What's the
it.
score?
We didn't talk about Formula One either, and today we had a fantastic run.
Tell us about
Go
it.
on.
We've got 3
Yeah,
minutes of the show.
go on.
Let's talk about Formula
Well,
One.
Formula 1.
I think Formula One today wasn't make or break, but it just
I think if Vettel had won
yeah.
and Hamilton didn't get a podium place,
Yeah.
it pretty much would have been.
No, but with half the races left, I
Half
think
the
anything's
races left, though,
possible.
isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, but
Can't be
I
all
mean,
over
that's the
and
kind of
halfway.
lead you want going halfway
But
to the season, right?
But
You know,
since
you can't win the league in August, but you can lose it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that, isn't it? Like,
But with that, I mean, it was it just was perfect for Hamilton, considering
home Grand Prix as well.
yeah.
So it
he's-
equals GP win record.
Yeah, he's also got the same, I think, podiums, not podiums, as number ones.
Same wins? Oh, same pole positions?
Yeah, pole positions as the great Schumacher.
Oh, what? Already?
Hamilton's already on the same number.
That's incredible.
It is.
Because Schumacher's an absolute legend, probably the greatest driver to have ever
driven
Formula One. That's actually, okay, so does that say more about Hamilton? I mean, I don't want to criticise like Sadat, but does that say more about Hamilton's skill or the lack of skill of his peers, his competitors, or does it say more about the car that he's driving?
I think my personal view would be the car, because I think the way you've got to look at it is back in the day when Schumacher was actually smashing everybody apart, he was on a different level. He was totally on a different level, but yes, he had the best car. Yeah. Now this year, I think the cars, especially in the last couple of years, you've had Red Bull, you've had McLaren, you've had the Mercedes,
Ferrari.
You've had the Ferraris. They're all, they're not far off. I mean, last year was,
Last year was pretty much, it was just pretty much done.
236 for 4.
236
Sorry, Maz has just gave us an update.
Cheers, Maz.
Cheers, Maz.
Appreciate that. What's the lead?
So that's 335.
Oh, look at that. He preempted my question. How good are you, Maz? You preempted the question. I asked the question just as you were typing. South Africa leading by 366, and they're 4 wickets down. So another 6 wickets to go. And I reckon 6 wickets at 20 a wicket, that's 120. They'll probably get 480. They'll bat out and get 480 lead.
They'll bat out, yeah.
And they'll give England 5 sessions to try and rescue a draw, because they're not going to chase that.
Yeah.
What's the next? Sorry, I was just going to go back because we're almost out of time. What's the next Grand Prix? Do you know?
I don't actually.
When are you taking us to a Grand Prix? I'm actually really no. I said forget taking us. We'll pay our own way.
Okay, listen. Look,
no.
Okay, so that won't pay.
There's 2 Grand Prix worth going to. I think that's Monaco, Abu Dhabi.
Okay, so there's 3. Abu Dhabi.
Also, I'll tell you what, the Indian Grand Prix.
Indian Grand Prix?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be doing justice to our listeners if we don't go and watch a Grand Prix live. What do you think of that?
Yeah, but I don't want to go to the Indian one.
No, that'd be awesome.
No, Indian would be awesome. I'll tell you that now.
Okay, well, we're out in 9, 8, 7 seconds. Thank you so much for listening and interacting, guys. Thank you so much for all the interaction on Facebook. And inshallah, tune in again next week. Salaam alaikum.
Salaam.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Clean and dry home for your belongings. We have security systems in place which are monitored 24 hours a day, ensuring that your items are safe. With a simple monthly payment, Ivet Self-Storage provides secure and tailored facilities to meet your specific requirements, whether short or long term. We offer the best prices and longest opening hours in Peterborough. For more information, please call on 01733 306 456 or visit us at Ivet Way, Westwood.
Third world and developing countries are home to some of the most vulnerable children on the planet. Malnutrition, severe lack of medical aid and access to clean water are just some of the horrific challenges faced by orphans across Africa and Asia. Children of Adam, a Peterborough charity, need your help to bring aid to these orphans for just £25 a month. To sponsor an orphan or assist with other projects, please call 0300 321 0032 or visit www.childrenofadam.net.
City Homes Estate Agents are your #1 independent family-owned agency in Peterborough. We offer a range of services including buying, selling, letting, mortgages and conveyancing. Why not call us today and find out for yourself why our customers return time and time again. We have a track record for achieving some of the highest prices in and around the area for our clients. With over 10 years of operating in the area, we are the experts in this market. Put us to the test today by calling 01733 348 677 and quote discount code RADIO for our exclusive rates for this promotion. City Homes, bringing people together for over 10 years.
आला बड़े पैसे आई गए ने कराना दूरी वे काम शुरू कराए
पैसे नहीं भाई यूके प्लम्बिंग एंड डीआईवाई नी ऑफर ही इस रानी है
लाला यूके प्लम्बिंग वाले कड़ियां चीज़ां बेचने न
घरै गी अपग्रेड करनियां सारियां चीज़ां बाथां टॉयलेटां टैप्स बॉयलर रेडिएटर प्लम्बिंग फिटिंग्स पेंट स्टोर डीआईवाई टाइलां सारा कुछ बेचने नी
चीज़ां कोई सस्तियां में बेचने न को नहीं
साल ले 12 महीने इन्हां दी ऑफरां लगियां होणियां नी
जल्दी कर मी पता दस होए मैं भी कराना काम शुरू करासां
ऐ किन्ना पता
Please visit us at Unit 2 Brassey Close, Lincoln Road Industrial Estate, PE1 2AZ, or call 01733 555 826. UK Plumbing and DIY, a name you can trust.
मेरा नाम आयशा है और मेरा ताल्लुक कश्मीर ऑर्फन्स रिलीफ ट्रस्ट मीरपुर से है। कोर्ट एजुकेशनल कम्प्लेक्स जरीकस मेरे ख्वाबों की जन्नत, जहां बेहतरीन देखभाल, आला तालीम, बेपनाह प्यार और मेहरबान शफकत हम सबको हासिल है। अब फेज 2 में 500 बच्चों और बच्चियों के लिए रिहाइशगाहें बन रही हैं और इसके लिए 9 करोड़ रुपए चाहिए। मुझे यकीन है आप मायूस नहीं करेंगे।
Kashmir Orphans Relief Trust 0300 123 774 court.org.uk.
And we have not. In the heart of Cambridgeshire, this is Salaam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salaam Radio, and this is Money Matters with me, Imtiaz Ali, and my co-host Amir Suleiman. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salaam, brother.
How
Good
are
to be
you?
back. Alhamdulillah, good thanks. What is it, 7 weeks we've been off air? 6-7 weeks?
It was a long Ramadan. We kept 40 fasts.
Yeah, we did.
It was a long one. No, but we did lots of good fundraising.
Yeah.
Lots of money was raised for great events, and you know, obviously Islam Radio, of course, supports those kinds of things.
Of course.
This is the first show that we're having sponsored.
Yeah, I hope first of many.
First of many. So if you are out there and you're looking to sponsor a show, you can sponsor a show. Today we've been privileged with the presence of Arif Aziz, who's the managing partner of Covershaw Insurance. Arif, thank you for sponsoring the show and welcome.
Thank you.
And
nice to be here.
Yeah, you were here like 5 minutes ago. On
I was.
We're in a different gear here. It's just a slightly different kind of
I'll
show.
have to be a little bit more.
A little bit more
serious.
professional.
A little bit more reserved.
Absolutely.
No, don't be,
Yeah,
please.
should have worn your suit. Yeah. So money matters. We've talked about a number of things, Ahmed. So we've talked about bank accounts, loans, mortgages, credit cards, a number of things. And with everything, I'm just going to come out with the usual disclaimer and say, you know, we don't encourage anybody to participate in any of these types of contracts. We're just giving you information about the world in which you live, and finance is obviously a massive part of it. But the show this week, and the reason why Arif is here, is because the show this week is on general insurance, as opposed to life insurance. So Arif, do you want to tell us a little bit about the type of insurances that you sell, and we'll talk about the structure and the way in which insurances work. So you obviously Covershaw in Lincoln Road. What kind of insurances do you sell?
Yeah, the mainstay of our insurance is basically personal lines. Personal lines probably consists of a bit of commercial insurance. We're talking about shops, restaurants, commercial buildings.
Okay.
And also personal lines, business car insurance, taxi drivers.
Yeah.
And restaurant
do you
owners.
insure individuals as well? So if I wanted a car insurance, could I come to you and speak to you
Yeah,
about
we
that?
could do that
if
for
I wanted
you.
home insurance.
Yeah, we
so
do
all
quite a
that
lot.
kind
That sort of stuff.
That is personal lines, isn't it?
That
Home
is
car
personal
insurance.
lines,
And,
yeah.
And general insurance is generally considered anything like non-life insurance, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we'll talk a little bit about the structure of general insurance, just to give a bit of an overview. So you made a great point there. Life insurance is anything to do with life. Obviously, you've got health insurance, which is things to do with morbidity, disability, inability to work, and those kinds of things. General insurance is everything other than that. And I guess the biggest difference between life insurance and non-life or general insurance is the term of the risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where you've got life insurance, the term of the risk is the rest of your life. So it could be 20 years, it could be 50 years, it could be 70 years. General insurance traditionally, Arif, what kind of length of?
It can be from a month, from a day to 12 months.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Yeah. So you know nowadays you've got companies that come out for especially motors on the motor side. You can take cover out for a short period or for a long period.
Of course. So occasionally, like I'll drive a car that I'm not insured in, and I'll ring my insurance company and say cover me for a day or a week. So that's like very, very short term.
That is.
But you're saying traditionally that the longer term.
The
policies
traditionally
you
is
have
12 months. 12 month policies. Yeah.
Okay. So from a business perspective, then I mean, it must be very different to life insurance, because I guess life insurance, they're looking at profit and loss based on a whole host of policies over a long period of time.
Right.
Whereas with general insurance, come 12, 15 months into a policy's life, and you know how much premium you took and you know how much claims you've paid, so you can kind of deduce your profitability on a much shorter timescale.
True.
So I guess from a company's perspective, it's a lot less risk.
Mm.
So they probably need a lot. Their techniques for modelling the risk need to be a lot less sophisticated.
Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. In terms of underwriting, we're into the nitty gritty straight away here, but I'm
absolutely.
conscious of time.
Dive in.
But I want to make sure that our listeners this is digestible for our listeners as well. I'm by no means an insurance expert. That's why we've got Brother Arif in today.
Yeah.
But in terms of underwriting of, say, motor policies, which is something that's very common for everyone. There's so many variables to consider, though, isn't there, in terms of getting the premium?
There is absolutely. They look at the actual postcode. That is probably the biggest one.
Is that the biggest one? Is it?
Influences postcode.
Yeah. Postcode influences, and then you've got the age of the driver. Details about the driver, what convictions he's got.
And that really frustrates me because when I'm trying to get my insurance, they'll ask me. They'll say, have you got a few moments to spare on the phone to renew your policy? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I've got a few moments.
Yeah.
Half an hour later, I'm there dying on the phone. It's like, age of youngest child, what they got, what grade they got in school. Come on, what are you talking about? So these are all risk factors, right?
Yeah, they're all risk factors. I mean, nowadays, what you find is a lot of insurance companies are doing credit searches as well.
Okay.
Which, you'd expect it when you're taking a mortgage out or something to check somebody's affordability.
Okay, so I mean, I would have thought doing a credit search on an individual would be to see how likely they were to pay their premiums if they're paying on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
But if they're paying a lump sum, are you saying
even a lump sum,
their credit report contributes to the amount of risk that a policy? I mean, that kind of makes sense because if you've got a poor credit report, that means you're a little bit more irresponsible financially, which probably means you're more irresponsible on the road. So I don't know.
Yeah. There must be something in it. But is that something that's come in pretty recently?
That's probably come in the last. That's been around for 2 years.
Oh wow!
But what you're finding is, especially in the last 6 months, they're pretty hot on that sort of stuff.
Okay.
And it's generally all policies are now having some sort of credit search done on it. Some insurers will do the credit search prior to you actually taking the insurance policy out, and some will do it sort of 4 weeks into your policy. Okay. The problem with the credit searches is, as far as I'm concerned, is the credit search is basically based on the client's postcode, his address, that he's getting it done. They don't do. It's like a soft credit search. It's not one they will do.
Yeah. So the difference between a soft and a regular is a soft credit search. It doesn't appear on your credit report as there having been a search.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas if they go full throttle, then there'll be this guy applied for credit and it comes on your file.
And what you find with that sort of stuff, they will only do it on the address. So let's just say somebody's moved into address about a month ago. Has got fantastic credit history prior to that, but because he's only been moved for a month, he probably won't pass the credit checks.
Well, he's not on the electoral roll for a start, is he? That has an impact.
That's a massive impact. So we were talking to Ishfaq about the loan show.
Yes.
And he was saying the electoral roll is a very key part of you being highly scored credit wise.
Yeah, but in the insurances it doesn't work as sophisticated as that.
Okay.
So we'll come back to you in a second, Arif. If any of our listeners are listening or watching on Facebook Live, feel free to just jump in there with any questions that you might have with Arif or Amir or myself, and we'll try our best to answer them. Amir, I wanted to just move back a little bit and just talk around the theory of general insurance. So clearly there's motor insurance where you absolutely have to buy a policy to be on the road.
Right.
That's a legal requirement.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other policies out there where there's no legal requirement, and yet there are multi-billion-pound markets.
Yeah.
So conceptually, I'm thinking, why does anybody buy insurance if there's no legal reason for them to do so?
Okay.
Because insurance companies always make a profit, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they absolutely make a profit.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Do you want to?
Well, I mean, there are many other different. Brother Arif will tell us that there are other types of policies. So, contents insurance, building insurance, for example. But in terms of other personal lines policies, before we get to answer your question, could you kind of list off what falls in to personal lines?
Yeah, you've just mentioned contents insurance.
Yeah.
Household insurance, pet insurance.
Pet. Okay.
You're also looking at public liability policies, commercial insurance. Restaurant insurance. We're also talking about motor trade. Insurance.
So it's quite a lot goes under that umbrella.
There's absolutely a massive amount that goes under that.
Just for the benefit of listeners, public liability. That's when you injure somebody through your work or through everyday, and then they sue you, and you've got legal bills to pay and medical bills to pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And employer's liability, would that fall under that or not?
Yeah, the employer's liability would fall under that.
Yeah.
A lot of the, policies will automatically include. I mean, if it's like a shop policy, you've just bought a florist or somewhere, you need the insurance for that.
Because you were looking at buying a florist, weren't you? You were you talked about it just last week.
So you're looking. So basically, you would be looking at some sort of contents to be covered.
Yeah.
Some of your stock. I mean, i.e., flowers. If your shop couldn't trade through a fire claim or something.
Sure. Right.
So you'd be covered. Sort of some. Cover for that sort of stuff as well. In the event that you couldn't,
So let me just try and break it down then. So personal lines is policies that an individual would take.
Yeah.
Commercial lines is a policy that a company would take.
Yeah. Commercial. A personal can take them as well. It could be. It doesn't have to be.
It could be a sole trader. It doesn't necessarily have to be
absolutely.
an established limited company or a PLC.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. But I worked in insurance, as in I worked in GI before I went into life insurance.
Yeah.
And I was operating out of Lloyd's of London, which I know you're
Yeah.
So Lloyd's of London is one of the earliest insurance houses in the world. It was
And a very interesting building as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's a beautiful building.
Yeah,
very interesting.
It's like almost inside out.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But there, they used to cover a whole host of things, and I used to work in a syndicate that used to write insurance that would cover bloodstock and livestock.
Okay.
So thoroughbred horses. There was a class of business called sports, leisure, and entertainment.
Right.
So we'd cover celebrities. So if
that's high risk, isn't it? Though.
Yeah. So Jennifer Lopez breaks her leg, can't do her world tour.
Yeah.
She misses out on $3-4 million of income.
Right.
She buys an insurance policy for that.
Gotcha.
We had Oprah Winfrey on our books.
Wow.
There were football clubs that would insure themselves against the risk. I'll say inverted commas, the risk of winning a cup, because if they won a cup, they'd have to pay players bonuses. So they bought insurance to cover the risk of
That's
those
interesting.
And there was other things as well, like hull,
Yeah.
which was marine hull, so big ships going from country to country, covering oceans.
Sure.
They're liable to a lot of damage. It cover marine hull, marine cargo, so the goods that they were carrying.
Yeah.
Marine liability.
Marine insurance is pretty standard now.
It's pretty old, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the root of insurance.
Yeah.
So back in I think it was the 18th century, there were explorers who'd want to go cross these oceans and trade goods. And they couldn't do it because the amount of money that they would be risking was too large a risk to take.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would go to Lloyd's, which was originally, I think it was a pub, coffee shop type place.
Oh, right.
And they'd meet.
Do you know what? It still is.
It still is, yeah.
Lloyd's is
still
a pub, like a lot of the Lloyd's underwriters.
Oh yeah.
They don't. Yeah, they don't actually work in the Lloyd's building.
Okay.
Although they'll go there and get a risk, appreciated or get a risk.
Exactly that. Yeah.
But most of their business will be done in a local pub.
Wow.
They'll sit down. They'll have a few beverages.
Yeah.
And they'll get a few risk presentations coming through, and they'll mark them off. This is what we think. This is, and that's exactly how Lloyd's still works to this day.
That's crazy.
So the reason I'm bringing marine into it is because that's almost like the concept of insurance.
Yeah.
People want to go and do stuff, but they can't because of the individual financial risk. So what they do is they pool the risk.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the concept of insurance. They'd go in there and say, look, the risk of us going completely kaput is, say, 5%.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost us £1 million.
Right.
So 5% of £1 million is what, £50,000. We're willing to put down £50,000 if you cover our total cost.
Gotcha.
So we're happy to lose £50,000, but we're not happy to lose $1 million.
Yeah.
And then there's these very wealthy individuals who are like, you know what, it's good for society if these kinds of voyages take place. It would benefit everyone. So let's take this £50,000 risk and that £50,000 risk and that 50, and pool the risks. So they might have a fleet of 20-30 ships going out there to trade and to bring stuff back. And if one or two of them don't make it, they've collected enough premium and generated a profit in order to pay claims.
Right.
So in a nutshell, that's the concept of insurance. It's the pooling of risk.
Interesting. I worked for an organisation not so long ago actually that did insurance services, and that's a huge bracket, but they did outsourced insurance services, and they went right back to marine insurance.
Sure.
They were established 1834, so
exactly.
right back.
Yeah,
because that's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
It's exactly where it started. Yeah.
It's interesting.
And the other thing I just wanted to talk a little bit about, and hopefully educate our listeners about, is there's something called utility. And utility is the word used to describe how much satisfaction you get from a particular outcome.
Okay.
So if I said to you, here's £100,
yeah,
how much utility do you get? Just put a number on it. You say, okay, £100 will give me a utility of 100.
Yeah.
Another £100, once you've got the first 100, won't give you an additional 100 utility. It might give you like 90.
Right.
And then the next 100 will probably give you 80, because as you get richer, incremental £100 will give you less satisfaction.
Right.
Yeah. So this is like known as diminishing marginal utility.
Okay.
It's like saying, would you rather have 10 apples, or would you rather have 10 bananas, or would you rather have 5 apples and 5 bananas?
Right.
And I think most people would say, I'd rather have 5 apples, 5 bananas.
Yeah.
And if they're worth the same monetarily, then you've got this whole diminishing marginal utility.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it's that concept that says, do you know what? I know the risk of me. So let's say a house burns down and it costs you £100,000 to rebuild. I don't want to pay £100,000 in the event of my house burning down, so I'm happy to pay insurance.
Yeah.
Now, the actual risk of the house burning down might be 0.5%. It's probably even less than that.
Yeah, it's
so your pure premium is only £500.
Yeah,
that's your pure premium.
Right.
But the insurance company will say, give us £1,000 insurance, and we'll cover your risk. So that's twice the premium you should pay. But you'd much rather pay a little bit more than the odds,
right,
and give the insurance company a profit than take the risk of paying £100,000.
Now that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it all depends on, you know what I'm talking about, diminishing utility.
Yeah.
How much you lose from from paying the £1,000 in terms of utility is a lot less than how much you gain from the additional utility of knowing that you're going to be safe in the event of a fire. You'll be able to rebuild your house.
Right.
You won't be completely devastated financially.
Yeah, that is interesting. You asked a question earlier on about motor insurance being a legal requirement.
Yes.
Are there? I mean, forgive my ignorance, but are there any other policies which are legally you're required to take?
I don't know.
Well, I think legally you'd expect, let's just say, for argument's sake, a restaurant.
Yeah.
Some sort where there's liability involved because you've got employers' liability included.
Oh yeah.
That is a legal requirement.
Okay.
But most people don't realise it's a legal requirement.
So I didn't realise that, and I'll tell you why. I suspected they imposed the legal requirement on motorists because they know motorists could potentially incur a claim that they can't afford to pay,
right?
And then somebody else is going to be out of pocket. So there's a legal requirement. With a restaurant, it's like a commercial entity.
Yeah.
Could they not themselves insure the risk just by holding a large pot of money aside? Or is the government saying, actually, no, by law, you're
No, the government is saying by law you have to have it in place.
Okay.
Yeah, because, the liability aspect of it, the public liability, you've got a member from the public who walks through your premises, trips, slips, falls, potentially there can be...
If they become paralysed, they can sue you for £1 million.
Absolutely. So that's a legal requirement. But a lot of industries, a lot of different types of businesses, I don't realise that's a requirement. They should be getting that in. And to be honest with you, the public liability aspect is pretty small. The risk of actually somebody falling it's not great.
Right.
So the premiums are very low.
Okay.
And we don't realise. I mean, let's just go back. If you look at you're insuring your car, we'll just use, for argument's sake, Lincoln Road. We're basically familiar.
We know Lincoln Road.
Yeah. So you're looking at a risk for a 30-year-old chap is £1,000. Okay. Yeah, you want to insure a restaurant on that road, and it'll cost you £600 for the whole risk. Okay. Or a building, where a building is worth £200,000-300,000. Might cost you £200 to insure.
Wow.
So this is interesting, and this links through to a question that we've just had on WhatsApp. This question, I think, Arif, you'll be best placed to answer it. The question is, when taking out insurance, is it possible to request the process of how your insurance premiums are calculated? So if I said to you, you've given me a quote of £1,200 for my car insurance, how have you got to that number? What is it that you've done?
Right.
Would you provide that as a broker?
We wouldn't. Yeah, that's the underwriter who would actually do that.
So
and
the broker communicates to the underwriter. The underwriter actually accepts the risk.
Absolutely.
Would the underwriter share it?
No, he wouldn't.
Okay.
They don't have they're not obliged to share that.
They're not obliged to share it, and they wouldn't share it.
No.
Okay. I mean, what they would share is where that premiums come from, how much commission you've earned from it.
But that's like industry data that probably you can get from any company.
You could. Yeah, that's it.
So I've priced risks in my work, in my day-to-day work. I used to price these risks. So in terms of how they price it, I mean, what they look at is the pure risk premium, and they'll deduce that. We were talking about risk factors earlier. So your credit report, your postcode, your age, the value of your car, whether you commute in it or whether it's just social, number of miles you do. So you said the biggest thing was your postcode. You're absolutely right. But the second biggest thing is the amount of exposure. So this is the word, insurance word. We'll talk about exposure.
Yeah.
So exposure is if you've got, they say this car was owned by a little old lady who used to drive once a week just to get her shopping. The exposure there is like maybe 1,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
Because she's going to go do her weekly shop and she's not driving much.
No.
And then you've got somebody who travels all around the country constantly, does 35,000 miles a
Yeah.
year. That's an excellent example of how you could scale up the exposure.
Right.
So they ask you for your mileage, expected mileage per annum, and that's your exposure. So what insurance companies do, or what underwriters do, and what actuaries do is they'll take all the different types of exposure, they'll have all the different rates based on the different types of exposure, and every company will have its own model, and nobody will make it public because they don't want their competitors knowing how they price risk, because then competitors can undercut them and choose to take more exposure in certain areas. They will take all these what we call risk factors, apply different rates to the risk factors depending on what kind of classification they've given them, use that to calculate a pure premium, which is what we talked about when we said if you've got £100,000 at risk and the probability of claiming is 0.5%, it's £500 pure risk premium. So based on that, they'll calculate a pure risk premium and say, okay, that's how much premium we should charge if we just want to pay the cost of the claims. And then over and above that, they'll say, now we need to add a profit margin. And now we need to also add, and this is where I want to ask you to maybe come in with a few comments on, we're going to add the cost of capital. So in insurance companies to take on risk have to have capital. Right. Do you want to talk a little bit about where that comes from?
We're talking about Solvency II related, regulatory stuff.
Yes.
So Solvency II essentially, just in layman's terms, and you'd actually know better than me, brother Imtiaz, but it ensures that an insurance company has enough capital in order to pay any claims that come
and if
through.
I'm a shareholder and I'll put that money up for the company as capital, I will want a return.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
So that's essentially what it is. They have a pure risk premium, they have a profit margin, and then they'll have a cost of capital. So if the capital to support that particular business is £100, it's going to be tied up for a year. They want a 15% return on it. They'll say, right, we need to add £15 to the premium to cover the cost of capital. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for the question, and thank you for interacting.
Just if we can go back to Coversure for a second, because obviously this show is today first one, and I hope First of Many sponsored by Coversure Insurance Services. Is that the full name? Coversure Insurance Services, Lincoln Road.
It is, yes.
So when did you start Coversure?
I started actually 19 years ago.
Wow. You don't look old enough for that.
He was 10.
No, I started 19 years ago. I used to work for a company where I used to be a salesman, and I worked for them for a year.
Right.
And after a year, circumstances changed. I felt like I needed something to do for myself.
Sure.
And from the day I opened up, I never looked back. It's been
Alhamdulillah.
It's been very, very busy all the way through.
And do you find there's a certain demand for a certain type of insurance in Peterborough? Is it mostly motor insurance?
No, I think I think each item of insurance or each different type of insurance has a demand for a certain amount.
Right.
Okay. So we're going back to motor for argument. Motor used to be very, very hot with us for 10, 12 years. Okay.
Is this when I think the people of Peterborough were a little less financially clued on, and they'd rely on the services of a broker?
No, not really. No? A lot of people would want to still deal with a broker.
I was just have the face to face.
Face to people love that face to face transaction. But problem is, you can get an internet price nowadays on compare the market for a couple of £100, whereas you'd be paying probably 3 or 4 times as much as that as a broker. Problem is, what you're finding is the internet, it's worldwide.
Sure.
In this instance, we're talking about UK wide.
Sure.
Okay. Whereas a broker, for argument's sake, based on Lincoln Road, he's going to attract a certain amount of clientele.
Right.
So his clientele are going to be generally from the local area.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what you find is the claims, the claims ratio is pretty high for a broker.
Can I just interject there? So I think this is an excellent point that you're making. You're saying as a broker, you've got a physical location, you're not internet based, which means you've got a geographical bias.
Absolutely.
So if you're based in Peterborough, you're going to get a larger number of people insured, and if there is a pile up on Lincoln Road, chances are you'll have 3 vehicles in that pile up that are all involved.
Right.
So that's known as concentration risk.
Okay.
And you know how we were talking about pooling of risks?
Yes.
It only works if you've got independent risks.
Right.
The risk of one car being involved in an accident and another car being involved in an accident need to be completely independent. But if you're a geographically limited broker, then automatically underwriters are going to think, hang on, he's writing business in and around Lincoln Road. If there is a 7, 8, 9 car pileup, we could have 3 claims rather than 1.
Right.
That's essentially what's happening. And what you're finding is a lot of the insurance companies, they'll give you, I think, a 3-year plan.
Okay.
You know, they'll work with you for 3 years, and after 3 years, if they feel they're not making a profit, which generally you do find in specific areas.
Right.
You know, Peterborough, Lincoln Road is a specific area
Yeah.
where you find because we've had a lot of different communities,
Sure.
you know, who've got involved.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, you look, let's just Eastern Europeans, they used to drive different side of the roads. So the risk is going to be a little bit higher, even though
of course, because they're still travelling to and from their country.
So
they're driving right side, their left side.
So the premium is going to be, you know, generally it's going to be exactly the same, whether it's European driver or UK driver.
I was in Spain a few years ago.
Right.
So I was driving on the right side of the road, and I crossed over to Gibraltar.
Of course, yeah.
So, and I had to switch, and then about 3 hours later, I had to switch back again, and it completely messed your head up.
It's not easy.
Arif, I want you to hijack the last minute of the show because we just had a follow-up question, and I think this is probably something that a lot of our listeners are hoping to get some information on.
Yeah.
So the follow-up question is: how can you improve your credit rating, get cheaper insurance premiums if the premium process is not communicated? So we've got a minute of the show. Maybe just give some advice to our listeners.
I think if you're looking at the motor side of it, the only way you can build up a decent premium is by making sure, you know, you're a careful driver. Careful drivers are generally people who don't have convictions, don't have accidents, build up their no claims bonuses, and stuff like that. You know, in regards to your credit rating, that's something that they're going to be looking at in the future, and maybe they're going to improve things on that. But motor is just a bit part of it. You know, commercial insurance is mainly where you want to be involved in, or just general insurance by household. If you if you're looking at your property, you know, Imtiaz, let's just say you're living in a property that's worth £250,000.
Yep.
You're insuring a car that's 10 grand. You pay £1,000 for your car insurance, but the premium.
You nearly saved us a lot of money. Amir Salaam, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, guys.
Point is, you know, our people, they don't